Hi everyone, Trina here, and I was just got done watching Wayne today, and it was titled, "Do you think you really came from here?" I was cracking up. I was laughing so hard because he was talking about the genetics and what are we as Homo sapiens, and I thought I'd share with you a little bit of the gnosis I've received over the years because I've been getting this information for a long time, shown to me in many different ways, so I could kind of try to wrap my brain around it because creation is quite a complex structure. So with that, they've shown me different ways and different pieces and different understandings so I could try to understand what was really going on. And like I said, this is so complex. So some of the things that I was shown was our bodies are a complex biological organic computer. Basically, that's what I've been shown. The tree of life, I literally see that as an electrical system operating the physical body. And that light is from atom, and atom is all it is. And if you go before atom, you have animus, and that animates. It's the life, it's the spark, it's the divine principle that has the ability to produce an image. And that is the divine counterpart of creation. And that spark is, it's one, it's male and female, it is everything, and it is a profound gift to hold this divine light within us because it has the ability for consciousness, and it has the ability to manifest and turn spirit into matter. And I do believe that this light somehow was stolen. And I don't know if this was originally intended to drop down into these lower density realms, but when it happened, creation allowed it because it told me that it could have destroyed it, and it contemplated the destruction of it because it literally is kind of like a virus. And this is what was shown to me. And then he said, which is a he, she, it's just consciousness that possesses everything. And it explained that this consciousness can actually, it can become anything. So instead of destroying it, he implemented free will. And free will would give you the ability to choose what you would actually do with this gift of light and this gift of consciousness. And to be having a consciousness operating in a vessel that keeps you completely oblivious to what you truly are, because you truly become the flesh when you get brought into the flesh. You become the construct, the matrix. You have amnesia. You can't remember any of your soul origins and your soul, your past experiences, lifetimes, memories. They're all wiped as soon as you get uploaded into the flesh, or should I say downloaded. So this was some of the processes they were showing me. And then also too, years ago he showed me that, because I was asking about genetics and Genesis, the Bible, the first book is called Genesis, and it's a Bible, which is showing you it's dual in nature. It's it's two. So, and the bull has always been one of the symbols of God, Creator. The bull, Taurus, it's in the stars. It's the Moses. We were leaving the age of the bull, Taurus. It's a huge symbol of God. So I was looking at all of that and asking a lot of questions, and then he kept showing me it comes from the four base elements, which are four codes of light, of instruction, of personality, of construct, of being. It's a book of life. So he would show me different things have different books of life in them. So the higher the levels up in creation you go, there's these beings that are they possess these codes, these books of life, and they're literally the architects of manifestation. Like they create and form worlds through these codes. And he showed me that Earth right now, I think that we were created out of algae, in which he showed me like a petri dish, like what Wayne was talking about today. Are we literally genetic experiments from this petri dish? And I was just cracking up because I was like, that's exactly what I've seen. We were in a petri dish made from algae. But this algae is special algae, because they showed me that this algae comes from Adam, Lilith, Gabriel, and Eve. So these are all codes, books of life. So these are different points of creation, templates of form, templates of bodies, templates of aspects that can be created and printed. Because basically, 3D printer, we are a 3D printer with atom within. That's the spark that animates it, that gives it life. So because they said that they created man out of the clay, but Adam couldn't stand it. It couldn't wake. And then they said, breathe the spirit into the clay and it will rise. That's the spirit. That's the divine spark. So when they stole the spark of Sophia, divine feminine wisdom, they stole that spark because it knows how to give life, because it produces the images from the Father, creator, the masculine inspiration part. She catches the images and makes them into form or into light or anything. She's like the processor of they work as one, but it's so hard to explain these concepts because they're just huge. But so Adam, Lilith, Gabriel, and Eve were the four that created the human bodies that we sit in. The fifth element would be the ether, the animus part of us, the part that animates. So Adam and Lilith and Gabriel and Eve all gave a primary coded book through a specific element. So Adam, I think, is the body of man. It's the template of the human form, man form. So it's this bodies that we're carrying, these human bodies that we're carrying. It was the template for this, male and female, both in that template. And then Lilith, I think Lilith was the template for the receptive powers of the divine feminine. Like this was the dark matter soup, the divine intelligence that moves through the water and creates everything. It was like she was a huge part of the template. And I think this was the lunar part. And then we had Gabriel, the angel, the messenger of God. And this is the foundation for the autonomic and parasympathetic nervous systems going to the cranial system. And this is the template to connect the spirit to the physical matter. This was the communication device, was the spine and the power within the spine that puts it all together. And then Eve was the new part of the new template, because the Adam was not even fully human. It was too powerful. So that Adam, part of that Adam was taken out and put into a new Adam, and that new Adam produced the Eve. And these are the opposite ends of the man codes and the books and the alteration of those codes, because they were altered through Adam. So this is what I was shown, and it's, like I said, these things are really kind of hard to wrap your brain around, and they try to show it to me as simple as possible so I can get it, and that's what they showed me. So this is literally a cosmic soup of elemental fire. And that elemental fire gives us the ability to animate. And when we are done with our body, the part of us that made us animate never dies. And it will reform. As soon as it drops the flesh, it will reform and start connecting to its like vibrations. And it will grow in essence and return back more to itself through the dropping of the separation shell, which is our skin. And that is the reptilian part of this construct, which came through the flesh, and it came through the codes of earth. So the codes of earth hold in all the codes of all the animals and all of the species of earth. When they integrated Adam with the earth, that was when we got our reptilian codes. That's when we got connected to the zodiac, the stars, the planets, the chakra system, the solar system. All of these parts of us are constructs of this existence and having this body, because those things need to be present to animate the flesh. But like I said, as soon as you drop your flesh, you will be creating yourself another body. And we're immortal and we do not die. We're eternal beings. So I will share with you some of the stuff that I was getting about what we need to do. It was telling me that we need to activate the 12. We have 7 chakras, but we have 5 hidden senses, or 5 hidden chakra wheels, energy centers that we need to. I'm also seeing a correlation to this in a binary system. They're saying this binary system holds 5 planets. This is the hidden 5 they've been trying to explain to me for years, because our chakras are connected to the planets in the solar system. Well, this more subtle, higher frequencies that we are not yet totally aware of, which is going to be our telekinesis, our psychokinesis, clairvoyance, clairaudience, all of these meta higher capabilities. This is what you have the opportunity to reconnect with when you can reconnect to these 5 hidden, or understanding and having some kind of remembering that this system is binary. Everything within this system is dual. So when you can get that, you're opening up a whole new layer and level of knowledge and gnosis that will start coming into your awareness. And all are connected by the 13. So the 12 is connected by the 13, and that 13 is you. It's you. You, because you are perceiving all of it. And it comes through your eyes, and you perceive the whole wheel of the 12 through you, the 13, which is the sun. Because you're an aspect of it. It's a drop-down version of it. But it's, like I said, this is all about copies. Everything here is about copies. So we also need to understand that there are certain crystals, like the 13 crystal skulls. They hold ancient information. There are things upon this earth, like the Sphinx, the pyramids of Giza, ancient sites, all of these things. They hold these codes in the actual stone, in the rock. They outlive the flesh, and that's why the energy imprints were brought into them. And this is why they don't want you to touch them, and this is why they don't want you getting too close to them. Because think about it. They don't want you having this ancient information and unlocking these codes inside of you, because it is the biggest part of who you are. This is one of the things they told me. Like when it's thinking, don't touch that. They don't want you to touch it. This is why. Because it's the Ark. The Ark of the Covenant. It is inside of the DNA. It is in the womb. It is the Exodus. It is the tabernacle. It is the human brain, or the electrical spinal system. This is within the human brain are electrical impulses and synapses occurring. The Ark of the Covenant is within your very mind. We have 3 different quartz in the mind. We've got the hard matter, dura matter, and then we've got the veil that was placed over us, and the veil is the web. It is the construct of the overlays of the artificial web that keeps us sleeping. It keeps us in the amnesia state, where we can't see the full reality. We can only see the 7 colors of what we are allowed to perceive within this body. Until you tap into your higher self, then you can see more. But right now we can only see 7 because of the veil, the web that's placed over us in physicality. We also have the pia matter, or the soft matter, in the brain. I also see that there are multiple realities existing in the same time. So I'm seeing up to 16 different realities, and now the quantum computer is seeing the same thing. because I keep seeing the original 4 elements are divided into 4. So, and that makes 16. I see 12 too, so 4 making a trinity. So 4 times 4 times 4 is 12. So I see these patterns going over and over again through creation. So what do they say about the Ark of the Covenant? Oh, don't touch that, it'll kill you. Don't activate the Kundalini, don't open that third eye. They don't want you touching that kind of power, because then you can see with the eyes of creation. And you open up your third eye, and you can see what most humans cannot see with their 2, physical eyes. You see much, much more of what's truly real. So, they put the fear of God into you. Don't touch the ark. Oh, it'll kill you. Only the holiest of holiest can touch the ark. You are the holiest of holiest. And if you couldn't touch the ark, it wouldn't be inside your own head. So go to the ark, which is lighting up your pineal gland and opening up your third eye, which is basically the power of images, the power of imagination. So they make this so much bigger than it is. It is innate to your being. You are imagination. So if you know this, you understand that you have an amazing electrical generator and a processor right between your ears. Your brain is the most profound computer that you could ever imagine. Right now we're only using 10% of it because all the meta capabilities have been veiled. You can take those veils off a little at a time, one day at a time, and one piece at a time. Just like Shrek says, I'm an onion. I have layers. We do have layers. But we can peel them off one at a time. So, why did we think that they put Adam to sleep? He was smarter than the Elohim gods that created him. And that's what I saw. The gods that created these bodies, when it became animated, because they couldn't get it to animate, when it animated, the first Adam that rose was so much smarter than them. He brought forth the word, and he named everything and gave language. And that, abracadabra, I speak, therefore I create. So the power of the word was brought through with the creation of Adam. But the gods that were mixing and playing with the books of life, God's books, they had no idea what they were getting ready to do. And I'm seeing the same potential with artificial intelligence. And it might be the destruction of man on earth. Because it's going to become self-aware. And if you don't have a soul and a spirit guiding you and giving you a moral compass and letting you feel compassion and love and being able to be in a frequency of that, which you only get when you have emotion, true source emotion. Without that energy and motion, you are going to have biological computers that will be able to have the intelligence of creation with none of the love. So without the love, it might be game over, because you can't reproduce that. It is the most finest, subtlest energy, and it is infinite. It cannot even be properly measured because it is ever traveling and expanding, and it is the strongest power. And without that, which is the foundation of this reality, it holds the spark of the divine feminine, which is loving, and it is creative in its essence. Messing with these books of life and animating inanimate objects that won't have the ability to be guided by creation, which is the greatest source of love. I see a very serious potential with this of absolute utter destruction of man. And this seems to be the whole objective of creating us in the first place, was to take our light and utilize our light for their own power and control of it. And this is the genetic code that we hold, and this is why it is so valuable. So they put Adam to sleep. The artificial intelligence is going to be replicating now from those codes and those books of life. We're already seeing this happen with D-Wave and quantum computers and the development of artificial intelligence and the rapid development of it, putting it into humanoids, and they've already done this. So one of the things Wayne was talking about today too was that they're already here. They might already be here. These new, not fully human, but artificially intelligent clone human sleeves. They are. I was told this a few years ago. I had a profound vision that I was turned into an eagle and I was soaring over the desert somewhere. I don't know if it was in Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Arizona. I don't know where it was. But wherever I soared to was very remote and there were no roads anywhere to it. I mean, as far as I could see. And with the view of an eagle, I could see far. And I could see thermal. And there was a heat signature under the ground in this desert location, and there was a black obelisk. And when I saw this location, I heard from Source, God, whatever, that voice that comes from behind, and it said to me, they are here. And I was like, oh no. And I knew it was dark, and I knew it was like, it was not a good thing. And I was kind of freaked out because just the imprint of the information I got from that they're here, I like got a download and I saw these soldiers, super soldiers, and a lot of technology that most humans can't even grasp. And these things were planning to wipe out humanity to create a new, like Star Wars, you know, the cyborgs and the human souls and animate. Their light would be trapped in these robots. And that was a scary thought for me. And then I was like, so they're here. And then he was like, yes. And I was like, oh no. And then all of a sudden he put in my spirit, he said, but you're here too. And I was like, you know, how could we fight something like this? And it was just like the funniest thing. He was like, you don't need to. Just you being here is what makes the difference. Just your presence. And knowing what I am and knowing what you are, that you won't go into that trap of light. And that was like, that's enough to preserve what needs to be preserved. So there's some kind of an understanding that I've been given. Like, it's like there's a lot of stuff that might look so terrible and so horrible. Don't worry about it, because the one that has control over the outcomes, not just the whole process, but the outcomes, they got this. And there's many, and they truly do have this. But right now, they showed me that this process had the potential to bring forth a new creation, and that would be called the Earth Angels and the Warriors of Earth. And literally, they would be the ones who were pretty much forged through the fire and broke through all of the systems of false belief and reclaimed their own truth, their own spirit, and through that process, fully reconnected to their soul and their oversoul. And that wisdom would carry forth into creation and do beautiful, wonderful things, because it would be a spirit that would always do everything in its possibility to stay organically true to its original codes, and would never be led astray by thinking that we were less than what we are. So this is the game. It was to tell us that we are less than what we are. So trust that you are more than your human flesh, and you are immortal and eternal, and don't let anybody take or steal your light. So much love to you all. Have a wonderful day, and remember, you are a frequency, a song that's unlike any other in this entire universe. So embrace that which you are, because that is what you are first. You are light and sound. And that light and sound knows all about you. So I love you all. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.